I have two apologies that I would like to make.
No.
So
what did we do this time?
No, it's you guys are fine. It's all me. It's all me. So we'll start with the small one. I slightly misspoke last episode when I was talking about Saturday AM. The point I was trying to make was I don't do guilt by association. I want to talk about Saturday AM as a company, and I want to talk about Whytmanga, who is my beloved senpai. But if you are an artist who did a one-shot with them or you drive the forklift at their warehouse, I don't want you to feel like you're on the line. Being part of a gang isn't a reason to point fingers, even if I have a lot to say about their business and the direction they're steering OEL manga, but I don't do guilt by association. That was the point I was trying to make last time. I could have phrased myself better. And my second apology, an artist with Saturday AM, they have uploaded a time lapse of some of the cards that she illustrated. It's a quick 2-minute video, and I wanted to show that to everyone because, oh boy, are we going to have egg on our face after making all these AI declarations?
Oh, so Lightning Phoenix is legit?
She didn't show the Arclight Phoenix. She showed some other cards.
Oh,
and
hey guys, I just wanted to fill you in on some exciting news. In case you didn't already know, my company SaturdayAM just launched a brand new trading card game called Saturday Wars TCG. Once you can hit it, it's fast-paced, fun, and seriously addicting. But honestly, I think there's a lot more to this game than just gameplay. Saturday Wars is based on an actual manga series, also called Saturday Wars, which was created by a diverse group of artists from all over the world. And those very same artists helping cards to life. I even had a chance to color for myself, and seeing my work turn into official cards, absolutely surreal. Here are just a few examples of the cards that I made for the game, but there are so many more out there to discover and collect. What's even cooler? This game is the result of a collaboration between SaturdayAM and Resurrection Games. SaturdayAM's mission has always been to discover and uplift talented artists. That mission hasn't stopped. Thanks to the partnership, we're actively hiring more artists to design future cards, giving them real life experience and a chance to break into the professional world. And if you're an artist, you can be next. Our market event is happening right now, and it's one of the ways we see out new talent for future products. In a world where AI is increasingly being used to replace traditional artists entirely, I truly believe it's more important now than ever to support real creators. Those who are pouring in their time, effort, and skill into every single piece. So please consider grabbing a deck of Saturday Wars TCG. You're not just supporting a game, you're supporting actual creators and helping build opportunities that matter.
She had a lot to say about the about this providing opportunities for artists. And
oh my god, the mascot is so cute. The little mascot. Oh my god, he's so cute. The orange one.
Let's see. I don't think any of those ones that she showed time lapses of were ones we said were AI.
Yeah, funny enough, it's actually a lot of ones that we praised. Like praised genuinely.
Yeah. I mean, Save the Kids.
And
Rescue the Kids, which was fine. I think there was a Sano one and Ruby Ryuzaki.
Yeah, she showed those at about 1:40 in. She showed a Sano card and a Ruby card. The Ruby card I thought was pretty interesting. You know, she drew that whole background on one layer. That was really impressive.
Yeah.
Add the colors, add the effects, and wow, there's the whole background. That is impressive. Oh boy, I guess we can't say those are AI.
So where did you find this video? Did they make this for you? Is this like a response video?
Oh, no, it was just on her Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah, and she had a lot to say about how this is making opportunities for artists, because they will have to hire the artists to touch up the cards. I did see that she was using it looked like Procreate, which I thought was interesting because we don't actually see her drawing on Procreate, just kind of fiddling around with the layers.
Okay. You know, I think there's an age-old question that needs to be settled.
Yeah.
Between Procreate and GIMP, which is a funnier name?
They're both amazing. I'm going to have to go with Procreate because I literally wanted to make a joke like I'd procreate with some Saturday AM characters. I wanted to say that.
Man, I wonder if Procreate has a time-lapse option.
I mean, look, between the two, I've only used GIMP. I mean, they're just both great.
Well, I wanted to share that.
Although I do feel like GIMP might have been intentional.
Yeah.
So that does take away some of the laughter factor.
It gimps the humor, you could say.
Yeah.
Well, this was a really cool video, and I appreciate all the research you put in TAPIR, and I also take away this from it, the most important thing of all. Oh my god, I love him.
The little mascot.
I love him. It literally was like my eyes lit up. I was like, oh my gosh, he's here.
Oh yeah.
It's him, the fucking evil thing. He's evil.
What? No, you've got to be kidding me. They pulled a QB? They pulled a QB from Madoka Magica?
No, he's good.
Oh.
No.
I mean, he's a villain, I think. Wasn't this
No,
guy
he's not. No.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the other one. I'm thinking of the other mascot. It got marked as a villain. Yeah, no, this is the good one.
Yeah, it was the other one.
Oh, the bunny was, right? The bunny was a villain?
Yeah, the little bunny.
The bunny's the villain.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all over the fucking place today.
No, I understand what you were trying to bring up. It was a good callback to earlier episodes of our podcast.
Well, I think we got proven wrong with those cards. Now that we've seen these intricate time-lapse drawings of the artist's process, there's no way that those could have any AI assistance now that we've seen that, certainly.
Absolutely none.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to stay far away from mentioning AI when those cards come up. I'm really glad we got that. But speaking of previous episodes, I'd like to read some comments from our last episode.
Time.
Sure.
Yeah, comments on comments. So we're stealing the bit from Trixie. Just to fully cement how we are part of the Trixie gang.
We need a bird to come in and give that like really nice low ring where it's like comments on comments right this way. What bird does.
Yes.
Comments on comments right this way.
That was perfect.
Oh gosh, the more I look at Arclight Phoenix, the more it's just messed up. Like the thing's legs are just wrong. Speaking of like birds swooping in, like it looks like it has the proportions of a chicken. Its legs are like right by the wings. It's like a round body. Like anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to read some comments. We give our comments on comments.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Shonen Flop, I want to highlight this comment. They are my favorite podcast. I'm so happy that they're commenting on us. And they said, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just first turn kill versus anti-first turn kill, the format.
Yeah, I was just telling someone about this. Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is infamous for its FTKs. They do generally do a good job of banning particularly problematic cards that cause them.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's a fair few that are still allowed.
I think my problem with the first turn kill in Saturday Wars is there's really only one way to arguably counter it. And there's only one that can do it. So it does feel like it's just kind of a jankiness that wasn't thought through.
And honestly, we're not even sure if that one does counter it.
Yeah, that too, because that could be debated.
I have one I want to bring up.
Yes.
I am so thankful for the continued support and ability to get to read the comments of Canadian Turtle. Canadian Turtle has done wonderful fan art for TAPIR. Recently in the most recent episode of Scooter Pitch Podcast, we looked over Canadian Turtle's wonderful art that they drew for TAPIR, and it was so cool. And we checked out your Twitter as well, and I loved your Twitter post. So I want to just say, Canadian Turtle, thank you for this kind-hearted comment. The idea that the other host said about criticizing and then giving examples of products that do it correctly, that's what I love to hear. And this, of course, is referring to when we were talking about the series, I said that we should maybe bring up some positive examples, too, that we could point them towards, even ones like Magic the Gathering we brought up, and we talked about Battle Spirits for a Japanese one. Mm-hmm. And they say, that is probably the most perfect way to give criticism. Wish more podcasts would start doing that. Good to see you guys are still on a roll. Looking forward to future episodes.
Thank you so much, Canadian Turtle.
Yes, thank you very much. And I can read the replies as well. We have TAPIR who said, thanks so much, man. I hope to see more people specializing in card games find this podcast and share their opinions on Saturday Wars game design. Originally, this podcast was going to be just Lucario, but then we feel so blessed that Chroma jumped in on the last second, proving that if you want something corrected, post it on the internet. That's how we got Chroma. The discussion around this game has been fascinating. It's been a lot of fun seeing where this goes. Hopefully the podcast is fun too. And then Chroma says, I also feel blessed that I jumped in. Been very fun.
Yes. So happy you're here, Chroma.
Again, I'm happy I'm here too.
I think what's very interesting about this game is just how it's been able to, because Ricky barely tolerates my Saturday AM whining, but I was like, man, they're doing a card game and I don't think it's very good. And he's got that brain for card games, and it's so he's just looking at it wait, what is this? It just activated him, and he's like, I need to go through every card and document this. There's just something about this where it's I want to explore and dig deeper, and it's cool. How Chroma, you said, you watched the first 30 seconds of my first video on Saturday Wars, and something is wrong. Sirens went up.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's oh dear God.
Yes.
Oh dear God, what are these cards? This is horrifying. The format is terrible.
Yeah.
Players switch hands.
when we figure out screen sharing and all that, I do want to show some walkthrough videos, the official Saturday Wars walkthrough videos that they've made. I get this feeling when I read through the cards and I watch their tutorial videos, it gives me the sense of, don't know what's a better way to describe this, but you are playing with your dolls wrong phenomenon. And in the sense of, like, it reminds me when two kids are playing and the dominant alpha child will go, no, your dolly says this. And they start bossing around the weaker child and they pilot them so that they are role playing correctly and accurately and not really considering the other person. And it's like
it's the he would not fucking say that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's not canon.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, when they do their test play videos, it's like, I can see how this makes sense to you, but it's like, these are very specific circumstances. In this pretend scenario, this is how it works. But how would a person play with this? How would somebody toy with this when you're not there to, like, hold their hand and tell them, no, the card goes here and you do this? And oh my gosh, I've been trying, like, now that I like, I kind of understand. I feel like I kind of understand this game now after, like, months of talking about it. Oh man, if we do Tabletop Simulator, I would love if it was like Chroma and Lucario, and I could be like,
I feel like I am gonna need to play a couple rounds of this game to really understand it.
We could literally make it ourselves. We have the cards.
It's on Tabletop Simulator.
It's on Tabletop Sim. That's where I got the card, all the cards from.
I thought we needed to, like, code this ourselves. I don't know much about how that stuff works.
No. I ripped the cards from Tabletop Sim. That's why we have them all.
I have never played PC games in my life unless they're MS-DOS or Commodore Amiga games. Like, I don't know about modern PC games. I could do it. I've just never done it.
Maybe that could be the season finale. We all play Tabletop Simulator.
I'd do it. I'd figure out how it works.
Heck yeah. So as I'm playing this game, it feels like it's not even like two different strategies. It feels like my most recent game that I played against Ricky was with the print-to-play starter sets. I was playing the Clock Striker set and he was playing the Apple Black set. And his was trying to amass the most points so that at the end of each round he could claim the chapter card. And mine was, well, the Clock Striker deck is the only one that can attack, which is another oddity that the print-to-play Apple Black deck doesn't have any ways to attack the opponent. So mine was just, how do I attack enough times to win? And it's like, and we both, like, kept drawing cards where it's like, okay, this would fuck me up. And trying to avoid the pratfalls that would come with that. And it's like, there was just so many obstacles for either of us to progress in our goals and not feeling like we were effectively battling against the opponent. It was more like, how do I not step on a rake and just do what I want to do? So it's such a slog. We've also started trying, like, recording how long each match takes, because they say that it could be played in 25 minutes. It's been 45 minutes to an hour 30 every time, like, pretty consistently, which is
that's not a good sign.
No, like
15 to 25 minutes if you can figure out how the fuck this game works.
Yeah, I feel like a good card game, it should feel like learning the Korean alphabet. Like, the common saying is, like, the average man can learn it before lunch, but an idiot can learn it in a week. It's been more than a week. I'm still struggling with this game. I guess we could read some more comments.
Sounds good.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I like this.
The endorphin has a very good one.
AKA Odunze's mole.
Without SaturdayAM's fire, Taper Clip is just a husk, blankly staring at nature stock footage, tenderly chewing a bag of baby carrots.
Accurate. That is me.
Is that because tapirs eat carrots? I didn't know about that.
They eat vegetation. Yeah, they got their trunks to the ground looking for the goodies. Now this one was interesting from Millania. They said, really appreciate you looking into Duel Masters. even just for added context, because that's IMO, a great example of a great product that doesn't care about East-West design comparisons. In fact, most good, popular, successful card games are. Drinking from someone else as well, as someone says. Look at merits of other works in the genre, see what fits your project, then iterate on them, not simply copying. With that in mind, oh my gosh, Lucario sent a TAPIR eating a carrot, yes.
I had to.
It's me for real, for real.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, I kind of not agree with the take that Saturday Wars as a card game is a cynical cash grab per se, but it's clearly made without actual experience and proper game design in mind because, so far, cards are made with effects that sound cool and give off the vibe of something card game anime pro tags would pull off, but ultimately dookie or downright horrendously OP in actual normal play. So not like carelessly made. Yeah.
So
no
for the first couple episodes, I was kind of working under the assumption that, they're jumping on the TCG train because of the recent bubble that's been happening.
Yeah.
Right? With prices and this and that. And no, as you said last episode, they've been trying to do this for dearly a decade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not a simple cash grab. It's just sad.
Yeah. So Millania continues. So now like carelessly made with no quality control because the higher ups just want to scrounge whatever pennies made from these, just blatantly amateurish. Especially because so far I'm not seeing they're pulling the obvious cynical cash grabby moves, i.e. implementing NFTs or shit like that for their physical card game. Lastly, genuinely am interested in your take. What?
Metazoo.
Yeah. Yeah. They said genuinely interested in your take regarding the CEO being awfully quiet about AI stuff, though. It's just kind of funny, a situation to kind of brush off. Like, maybe there's nothing to it, really. But if it somehow is, LOL. LMAO, even. They were the only ones asking for our take on the CEO's Instagram post. Therefore, we are saved from becoming a drama podcast.
We're saved. Are we?
No.
I mean, we have to open every episode with an apology, so I think we've already failed in that regard.
Yeah, that's true. We've been going on a pretty strong streak of opening with apologies. I gotta find it by next week. I'll find something new to apologize for. But yeah, Millania makes a great point. If this was just a cash grab, they would have gone a lot harder. They also would have advertised the game found a little harder. I feel. I find it interesting just how little they are. I don't know. Like I feel like I shouldn't be the person who's talking the most about this. Like you have like this whole team of guys and like why aren't they yapping about this like we are?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I thought at first you were saying that you personally felt you were underqualified to talk about this, in which case I was going to say, no, you're not. You're really successful and you know your stuff, so don't undersell yourself. But now I understand what you're saying. It was a different point.
Yeah. I feel like they've got this whole team of artists and, they're trying to make their game found goal. It's like they gotta hustle a little more. They gotta let people know. You gotta chip in. We gotta get this card game made. And then I replied about the cards made with effects that sound cool. And I talked about some interesting things that I found in the game design. One example being like the Apple Black villain gets an advantage when fighting the Apple Black protagonist. Now, how likely is it that's going to happen? That I'm going to play an Apple Black deck with the Apple Black villain, and then
against an Apple Black
deck.
Yeah,
and they're going to play it's just so many of the effects feel lifted a little too strongly from the manga, where and then it feels very limiting in that aspect. Where it's like
yes, putting flavor into the card mechanics is it's good.
Yeah,
but working as a card in the game needs to come first.
Oh my gosh! Oh no! Because Ricky's almost done with the spreadsheet, and he noticed something while amongst everything. So you know how cards are typically labeled as hero or villain.
Yes,
hero and villain doesn't have any effect.
What?
Yeah. There are effects for students, and
there's just nothing that uses hero villain.
No, even though a lot of the characters are labeled as hero or villain, which is laughable. Why are they all labeled as hero villain if that's not going to be an effect anywhere? But but when when Prince Caezar faces off against Sano, that's a specific effect. Like it's so
with the flavor thing. It's like this is another one of those things that you should learn from the big boys. General principles of design are things that you should that you want to have as takeaways.
Yeah.
Because they've made all the mistakes already.
Yeah.
Early Magic had a huge problem with flavor overruling mechanics. I just grabbed this card Merchant Ship so you can see an example. This is from the very first expansion, right? This is the second set they ever made. Now, this is a terrible card. It has almost no use case.
I'll read the text. If Merchant Ship attacks and is not blocked, you gain 2 life. Merchant Ship cannot attack unless opponent has islands in play. Merchant Ship is destroyed immediately if at any time you have no islands at play. Huh.
Yeah.
No man is an island.
It's not,
there we go.
It's not as absurdly bad as a lot of other old Magic cards.
Yeah.
But it's not good. There's no reason to ever use it, really.
Yeah.
Like, 1 mana for something that maybe gets you 2 life on a turn is not very good.
Yeah.
Like, there's a card from the first set called Healing Salve that's just 1 mana, gain 3 life, and it's unplayable. It's terrible. It was terrible back then, too. So this is something that maybe gets you 2 life for 1 mana. Granted, it's blue, so that was maybe slightly more useful back then. It has to not be blocked, which it does do no damage. So like it might be useful. It's far from the worst card that was coming out back then, but it's and it is very flavorful, right? It's right. It's a trading ship. It goes from your islands to their islands and back, and brings back some supplies and heals you, right? So you can heal with.
Yeah,
it's just not very useful.
Yeah,
it's just not. It just doesn't work with this game.
Like I
and
would
a
think
lot of these cards have a similar problem.
Yeah, it's like you said, like, oh well, Magic's been at this for a while. It's like just the basic formatting things where it's just like, did you spell check it? Is the punctuation adequate? Like just basic things like that where it's like, come on, the other guys already figured this out. Oh right, I did play Marvel Snap. I did install that. I tried that. Yeah, I did my homework. I hated it. I did not like Marvel Snap, but I can see how there is similarity with Saturday Wars with like the way it's organized.
Go and check it out, actually.
Yeah, for a phone game, I thought it was pretty interesting how it is a card game designed for the phone, and I appreciated the design of it and how they did try to make it satisfying to play with one hand and play on the go. They did a good job from that angle, but it gave me the same feeling as when I see a wall of Funko Pops, and I did not like that. I did not like how it's like it was just this big dazzling array of like, you remember this character? And it's like, I don't know. It felt like it was less about thinking through the strategy and just more like who's the coolest guy. Again, I only played it for 30 minutes. I'm sure it gets more complicated as time goes on. Wasn't really for me, but yeah, I could see the relation to Saturday Wars.
The only like phone card game I've really tried is Hearthstone, and I mean Hearthstone is decently designed. It just didn't grab me.
Yeah,
and also it's a phone game, so it had a bunch of annoying shit.
Yeah, I guess we could start.
I guess it is time.
I guess we could
begin.
Yeah.
The beginning.
Yeah, thank you.
Of the beginning.
Thank you everyone for your comments. Thank you everyone for commenting. We always really appreciate it. We will keep it going for next episode, and we will read our favorites. And just because I didn't read it didn't mean it's not a favorite. It's just not completely on topic. We still appreciate off-topic comments.
Drift the Chip Graveyard. It's a hammer chapter card. Narrative effect. After each player has taken 2 actions this chapter, character cards can no longer be played here, no period. Why is the here there? It's
where
completely
is here?
unnecessary. Yeah, as Ricky said, where is here?
Where is here?
I mean, there's only really one place it can be, but that's also why you don't need it.
After each player has taken 2 actions this chapter, character cards can no longer be played during this round or during this game.
I mean, during this chapter, presumably, because it's,
Oh, right. Yeah, rounds. Wait.
Yeah, because the chapter goes away after it's taken. So
Yeah, because the order of operation, it's chapter, and then the turns for the players, I believe.
Yeah,
but let's see. I'll hold off from checking the guide.
Yeah, you get 4 actions per chapter, and I think you go back and forth.
Yeah, and they call turns chapters.
Yeah, it's just like for this turn, you can't place a character. You can't play a character card after your second action, which is fine. A perfectly acceptable design. Right, as Ricky said.
I'm thinking of
a magic example, right? Ceasefire, 2 into white, instant. Target player can't cast creature spells this turn, draw a card. Right? It's a fine, if not super powerful effect.
Now, I'm wondering if they mean like adding allies or if they mean the effect that a character card can have. So, for example, we have Madame Naomi.
No,
has the
I assume
ability.
just playing allies.
Okay.
Usually in a card game, play means, playing the card, putting the card down.
I got a nitpick. I got to think of how it can be misinterpreted.
It's just the here that makes it confusing. It's just the unnecessary extra word.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean here?
And the art is looks pretty good. The art is the best thing about this card.
Hopefully, it's not AI.
It doesn't look like AI.
No,
I would be very surprised if it was. It's no. This is human art. And the next card is number 16. Moving up the player rankings, it's a massive multiplayer World of Ghosts card. All characters have +1 progress value this chapter. Whatever. It's
plus
Ricky,
the red one.
Ricky has a problem with this chapter. Doesn't really need to say it. I think it's fine here.
Yeah.
And they didn't capitalize characters, which they probably should have.
Probably should have done that. Womp womp.
And the art's fine. It's whatever. It looks normal.
Yeah. Nothing hanky going on here. I think this is something I would want to compile later, but there is a certain painterly art style, and it's used for some of the cards, such as this one, and then it was also on some of the Apple Black cards, the one where Sano's like getting his heart punched. It's like very thick with painterly style. It'd be cool to like see what those have in common, and like Mikael Barouge also has a similar style, even though it's a different faction.
Yeah, it's this guy is just fucking up a weird centipede monster.
right. Yeah,
good action.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool.
This is a good choice of panel for the card.
Oh yeah. And then if I can find the original manga panel, I will also put that on screen to compare and contrast.
Yes. And I think this is our first Soul Beat card.
Oh, Street Fight. Oh, I have a lot of thoughts about Street Fight. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy. We gotta wait till Lucario has returned to really tear into this one. Oh yeah.
The text is pretty boring.
Yeah.
Boring functional card. Give us more that suck. Don't actually give us more that suck. It's a good thing that this isn't very interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
If we have a lot to talk about, that means it's usually not for a good reason.
Yeah. So Street Fight says each time a player issues a challenge this chapter, that player retrieves 1 card. And Ricky's problem was
this chapter thing again.
Yeah. Do chapter cards need to explain that their effects are for the current chapter? Yeah, that's fair. I think my problem.
Some examples are definitely worse than others. This one is less annoying to me, but it's still probably.
I'd say my problem is it's so difficult to issue a challenge in the game that this feels almost useless.
Yeah.
And retrieve is, I believe retrieve is you take it from the purge pile to the shonen deck. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's fine. I just the way the game is now, I can't see this being of particular use. Yeah, totally fine. Whatever card. Where's Lucario? We got to talk about this terrible art. It's so bad.
This terrible background.
Oh, it's like, where are they? Like this almost looks like a French cathedral in the background. But I thought Soulbeat took place in Indiana, so I don't know what's going on. Like, yeah, he's got the Indiana license plate on his car, so I think. Or no, wait, there. Oh, right, and he like goes to hell at some point. Maybe that's where he is. Maybe it's a street fight in hell.
Maybe he's in hell.
Maybe
he's in Hell City.
Yeah, he's in Hell Town, and he
with these very normal looking guys.
Right. That's what hell is like. It's just AI building generated on AI building and very normal guys.
Yeah. Look, hell is just full of guys who would look totally normal in Indianapolis.
Oh no. Shots fired in Indianapolis.
I mean, not really. This is just like, you would find these guys in any city.
Yeah, but they were like, I'm like sick of Indiana. I'm gonna go to Helltown with its AI buildings. That's gonna be an upgrade from Indianapolis.
I mean, actually firing shots at Indianapolis, it might be.
Maybe that could be my next apology. I'm sorry to the people of Indiana.
I'm sorry to the people of Indiana and Indianapolis. You have the Kurt Vonnegut Museum.
Yeah, they do. That's cool.
Yeah, Kurt Vonnegut was from Indianapolis.
That's cool. Huh.
He did leave Indianapolis.
So. Did he go to Helltown?
No, he went to New York.
Oh, okay.
So yes, actually.
Oh no, I'd rather apologize to Indiana than New York.
Yeah, look, I will fire shots at anyone and everyone if you let me keep talking.
Yeah, same. When do we send the search party for Lucario?
Thank you so much for waiting for me. I had to use the bathroom.
Oh, there you are.
How did it go? How many cards did you go through?
We
went through search. We've done 3. We were waiting for you on the art on this one because there's a lot to say here.
Oh yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
The art on which one?
Yeah, Street Fight looks pretty rough. The other 2 were like totally fine. They looked like normal art with human touch-ups. Street Fight though is looking pretty bad, and we need your thoughts on that.
I am trying not to be offensive or cruel about this, but this is kind of giving. You know those like Adult Swim like anime parodies. One of them was about like a tennis player. It was called like Machu Picchu Max or some shit on Adult Swim.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's called Gemsetsuo Machu Picchu. It was a really weird anime parody thing, but it was obviously made in the West, so it just had like weird melting faces. I'm not trying to be a dick. Again, this is going to seem very cruel, but this is giving that. Or if I'm being really polite, then like Mega Tokyo and like the old 2000s anime comics, and I'm not trying to be a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of their art does very much feel of that era of early 2000s Toonami, either from like, oh, this is everything that played on Toonami amalgamating into an art style, or this is kind of how somebody outside of Japan was drawing anime at that time. They like what they like there. I don't think there's anything as far as the character art go. I can't really nitpick it for that. I mean, I agree the art style is a little bit outdated, and that might just be what some people want. But yeah, I definitely see what you mean here.
Yeah, that's basically everything I had to say. I mean, in terms of the shading though, the shading's fine. It looks good to me. I guess I would say, though, that the guy who is wearing a tank top, those are some very toned, like almost like it looks like he's wearing a shirt with like a varsity jacket. You know what I mean? Like it actually isn't giving
off. Those are some very big fingers. There's some very big fingers on that. Yeah. That hand is like a block. That is a brick.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a tank top.
He doesn't even need that bat.
Exactly.
He doesn't need that bat. Well, what about the background?
Oh, the background.
You got a lot of stuff going on in this background here.
It looks like not the same style as everything else. I will say that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, you want to move on?
Yeah, I get you. Of the street are very not good.
Shaky. Yeah. I don't want to pressure you guys into saying anything that you're not comfortable saying. So that's all you want to say. we can
where the
there.
purple hair guy is like kind of next to his pants. It looks like there's just like a pile of rocks on the street.
Yeah. It's weird how his shadow doesn't
supposed to be part of the street, but also it's not.
Yeah.
And that weird cathedral thing in the background. The background is a mess. And I really hope it's not a human artist who drew this, because we will have to apologize for being very mean.
Yeah. They're making a lot of creative choices if this was human art.
I don't hate the character designs, really.
Oh my gosh. What is that the Adult Swim show you were talking about, Lucario?
Whoa, did you just send something to chat? I didn't see it. Oh, you looked at it now. Yeah,
that's
Gem Sotio Machu Picchu. It's the Adult Swim anime parody that I was talking about. That was what I thought of when I saw it.
Machu Picchu.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds like an Adult Swim anime parody.
The hill I will die on is, I think, the Neo Yokio, the Jaden Smith anime, was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, and I can tell you why. That one is actually done by a legit anime director, and so the art is competent, which adds to the humor. The entire reason, in my opinion, that Neo Yokio is actually funny is because the art style isn't completely melting and a mocking parody of anime. It's a legitimate anime art style.
It looks like an anime, which is why it's so funny that everything else about it is so funny.
Dude,
take a wild guess.
So many people hate on it.
Take a wild guess who directed that.
Oh god, I know you've mentioned this before, but I don't remember who it was.
Junji Nishimura, the director of fucking just so much shit. Namely Simone, Ranma 1/2, the 90s version.
No way.
Urusei Yatsura. A good director.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He directed
Neo Yokio?
Yeah, so when they did those references to Rumiko Takahashi works, they literally got the guy who directed the Ranma 90s anime.
That's so cool!
It is really funny that it is kind of wild to me that the guy who directed Ranma and Urusei Yatsura also did Shimoon and Neo Yokio.
Yeah, he's an interesting director.
Amazing.
And I should clarify, Ranma had many directors over the course of its run. So the guy who directed the first 18 episodes, we're not talking about him.
Yeah, he was one of the directors on Ranma.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I think that's what really makes it come cool. And just, if you want another example, I am not a fan of this dub because I'm screwed. I'm going to use this platform to talk about it. The guy who did this dub is a very narcissistic, mean person. But Ghost Stories, the Ghost Stories dub is so loved because it looks like a kid's show, and yet the humor is so offensive and off the wall. Again, I'm not a fan of that one because he has a lot of viewpoints. They're I'm improving these works when I do that to them. And he actually did that through a work known as Green Saga, which is such an influential work that it even inspired Berserk. And he did a Ghost Stories type dub for that. And that's where I just say that's crossing the line of disrespect.
No, there's a lot of there's a lot of gag dubs in that period of Western anime fandom, and most of them suck.
Yeah. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that's the reason why it can be funny, is because it's the contrast of competent art combined with the surprising humor that you don't expect. Also why Abridged series are famous.
Yeah. I always felt like the Neo Yokio character designs did kind of have that early 2000s how to draw anime art style, but the actual execution of it still felt like a real, quote unquote real anime, for lack of a better term. And the contrast is very interesting, and then you have Jaden Smith acting like Jaden Smith, which is just so freaking funny. I love it. There is no better person to voice that protagonist.
Absolutely. So I think we said enough about street fights.
And this is deep.
Yes. Let's go on to.
Oh wait, no, I'm zooming in a bit further. What is with the purple guy's eyes?
Oh.
Huh.
And
what's going on? Yeah. No pupils, or
you can't see the pupils on. Well, no, you can see the pupils on bald guy.
Interesting.
The foreground and background don't match. Is the main problem here.
Yeah.
Purple guy kind of feels like a background character that was made bigger. Like, if he was in the background, then no pupils would make sense because he's smaller. But it feels like he was like blown up.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up we have another Soul Beat card done by a different artist. Pretty clear when you look at them side by side. They look very different. They're very different art styles. Number 20, Studying Up on the Afterlife. Each player takes 6 actions this chapter instead of 4. No mechanical issues, I do have a slight issue with the way the card is written. Ricky thinks it needs a comma. As written, it does not. It does have a period, though.
Yeah.
Now, I would say this should be written, this chapter, each player takes 6 actions instead of 4. Right? This chapter should be at the start. It should be this chapter, comma, each player takes 6 actions instead of 4.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a neat card. It's a neat effect.
Yeah, this art looks pretty cool. I like it.
And I like the art a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one puts us closer to like kind of a sort of modern anime, maybe like by Production IG or something like that. A little bit like a little bit shoujo-esque in just a tiny bit of a way. It kind of looks like a webtoon.
Yeah. The head is a lot rounder.
Yeah. I like it. Good art. This is cool.
Yeah. I like the effect.
I like the background a lot too.
Yeah. Yeah,
I like this. I like the setting this is in. I like what's going on here.
Yeah, this is cool. Like, it tells a really good, like, complete story with one
it
picture.
Sure does look like he's studying up on the afterlife.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's got a big spooky hand. He's in a spooky library. All the details with all of the.
He's flipping through this tome of occult looking stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I like how they like the book looks like it's falling apart.
Yeah.
With the cover. Oh, that's cool. All this detail, it's very nice.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah. This one's cool. Yeah, it's 6 actions instead of 4. All right. Yeah, there's nothing that breaks the game there. It's very nice.
Is this the best Saturday Wars card yet?
What was the one we said was the best previously? Like the Bird Mountain one?
Oh yeah, the Arclight Phoenix. We said was the best.
No, the other one. The Travel to Bird Mountain, I want to say it was.
Oh yeah.
Right,
and that was the least broken card.
Yeah, I think this is the best chapter card.
Oh yeah,
because that is the last chapter card. We will no longer be talking about chapter cards.
Yeah, wow, they saved the best for last. That is,
it's the best chapter card.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Honestly, that card kind of makes me want to check out Soulbeat.
Nice. Yeah, I know that's the person who drew this card
really
isn't.
Cool.
Yeah, that's not the main artist for Soulbeat, but yeah, you're gonna get the art style used in Street Fight, but
that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. If it has this energy, I'm on board.
Is also very good.
Yeah,
happening in Studying Up on the Afterlife. If that's what Soulbeat's about, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Let's see,
I guess next up is
Mikael Barouge, Onyx Leader. The set number is 1, the faction is Apple Black, and it is first found in the starter deck preview. The card type is Character, the subtypes are Cloak, Mentor, and Hero. The action type is Draw Card, and the text is, if this card is in your Purge pile, you may add it to your hand instead of drawing a card. Mikael Barouge is not an Onyx Leader in Apple Black or when pictured. Mikael Barouge is a former Onyx Leader, and this is talking about what's wrong with it. The flavor text also mentioned he has been teaching. Mikael Barouge taught after they were no longer an Onyx leader. Period at the end, no. Comma use optimal, yes. And is the character referred in the effect cataloged? Characters are not mentioned.
Yeah, so that's some deep cut Apple Black lore. Is Mikael used to be the leader of the Onyx, this scary rebel gang, but he left that life behind, and now he's a teacher.
Yeah. As far as the effect, loop this back to your hand from the graveyard is pretty standard.
Yeah, no complaints about that. Nothing. That's more of the what is wrong is more of a nitpick about, and somebody's getting the Apple Black lore wrong. Like, he's not the Onyx leader anymore. He's reformed. The picture should be him before the series starts. Do like a flashback of him. This is not the case. So just like a little nitpick, I suppose, but it's nothing too horrendously wrong. I don't think most people would catch that.
This is a very interesting card. I want to first give a bit of praise in terms of the line art is perfectly all in place. I understand what we're achieving with this image. I think really the main thing doing a disservice to this image is honestly just the odd choices taken with coloring. A lot of stuff like, I'm trying not to be crude here, but like the cloud, for example, has as much detail and focus as the guy, to the point where it kind of comes off like a coat, or if I'm being really crude, like a fart or a stank cloud. It's like too detailed. That should be more background or something.
That you're right. I'll try to find the original, but I could share some screenshots while I'm looking. But in Apple Black, which you're right, whoever colored this had that's more speaking to them. But in Apple Black, they're just kind of bad at rendering smoke effects. Like they use the same pen width as the characters, so it just like it looks kind of goofy. Like there's one where he's where Mikael is smoking his cigarette and being a cool guy, and they zoom in on him smoking, but it just looks like he has a big long floppy tongue with the way that it's framed and posed. Like it looks so bad.
Lapetong.
And
yeah, I get oh my god.
Yeah.
That's Usuki Doji for an obscure anime reference for you there. Usuki Doji with a bunch of people with crazy tongues. It looks like a side panel, like this grayed out panel, like got a big tongue.
Right? Yeah, this is not the first smoke cloud related screw
that's
up.
That's just not. Also, this is the where is the cigarette position with that panel? Right. Like it looks like the smoke. I mean, I guess he's exhaling the smoke, but it doesn't look like a smoke cloud. It doesn't look like it looks like a stream of smoke coming off this, like a wisp coming off the cigarette instead of a cloud coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, like it doesn't have that like wispiness.
Really weird look.
Yeah,
it's just a weird look.
And then here's another example.
Coming out of his mouth, it's the wrong position to be coming out of the cigarette, so it just kind of looks like a fucked up tongue.
Yeah, then like when that panel, that arm, you're the Trinity, and it's like, I think it's because like. Unfortunately, I have spent over 10,000 hours with this manga, so I know that it's supposed to, like, he's emerging from the smoke, but the way it's rendered, it kind of looks like snow, or like he's stepping over, and then we have Mikael in the next page with
it looks like
big cigarette,
like ice and rock.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nice rendering of that monkey, though. I like that in the bottom left.
Oh, yeah. Monkeys, I do love the monkey in Apple Black. Yeah. He's always getting into monkey shenanigans. That is very adorable.
Aww.
Pooping on people's shoulder and just being a little rascal. Oh, I love him.
You're the Trinity.
Oh, yeah, and that's a side note. I'm screenshotting these from the Kobo version, but the Kobo version, they didn't know that it reads left to right. They stitched it together like a manga, so the pages go right to left, even though the text bubbles go left to right. And then to further the confusion, Whytmanga is just not the best at top-down balloon text bubble placement, and so just like the pages themselves aren't really the best with their layout. It's just like compounding problems.
Who more? I thought Feramungo was acting alone. I hate the names in this manga.
Yeah.
They're
not the best.
Like, look. When I was pulling these cards out of Tabletop Sim, like,
yes.
Oh God, I saw so many terrible names.
Please, what was the worst? What?
I mean, the Fatamunga one was one of the worst.
Mm-hmm. What? Why? I'm gonna pry deeper. Why? Rudon Fatimunga. What about that bothers you?
It's just not a good name for a person.
No. Like,
you're gonna seriously tell me that family's last name is Fatimunga. Fatimunga. Also, Groudon just sounds stupid.
Groudon.
Jekyll Khan is pretty bad too.
Yeah, but like Lopez, like just kept spinning in my mind.
It's like he was like Alejandro Lopez, but I mean that's just a regular name, so we got to make it weird.
Oh wait, I found it. I found the panel. I found it.
Oh, Zebediah Ford, also terrible.
Got him. Yeah, that one's not the best either.
Zebediah with 2 B's, by the way.
Hopefully they trademark all of them, just like they'll trademark Purge to Play.
Oh,
there we go. I found.
What is going on? Why does he have feet coming from between his crotch trying to kick him in the private part?
I think that's his jacket.
I know it is. I'm just memeing. It looks like feet.
But it's still like...
I like your fart fetish headcanon. That you're right. Like, why else would you...
coming out of his ass, yeah.
Why else would you, like, lovingly render in detail that much smoke and...
But no, those sleeves, that's a shoe. It's like a socked foot, and it's coming up to kick the cloud.
Exactly. That's what I see. It looks like a platform shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the rest of it I'm fine with. It's kind of a little bit like, just a typical shot of all the characters gathered. I mean, it could have been maybe a little bit more interesting, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It does kind of just look like, the concept art. You just kind of grab the concept art and just kind of put them all standing there.
Wait, no. Okay, I found it. I found the actual worst character name in all of these cards.
Ooh, what is it?
Ooh, who?
It's from Hammer, Brutus Elefante.
Brutus Elefante.
Is it elephant?
No.
Well, why not with that name? It's basically elephant.
He doesn't look tall.
Maybe he's a furry.
Maybe it's like a Full Metal Alchemist situation where he can take on a human form, but then he becomes an elephant out of nowhere.
He's a chimera.
Yeah.
And Brutus Elefante is just like, no. Icky name. Don't like it.
Yeah.
Also, the wisps look like cum.
Oh, no, they do. Oh, no, I see. Oh, no.
Like, I'm sorry, but they do.
They do. See, this is why furries are important, because a furry would be able to distinguish between a smoke cloud, a fart cloud, a cum cloud, and an action cloud. Like,
yeah. This is why you need people who spend too much time on the internet on your team.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I think we've gone on enough tangents that it's time to move to the next card.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
you want to read that one?
No, I have one more thing to say about Mikael Barouge's. Barouge. His arm, his right arm, just are those supposed to be veiny muscles? It kind of just looks like blood in the card.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like weirdly.
I don't like that. It doesn't look good. Okay, next card.
Yeah. Do you want to read this one?
Indeed. Number 29. Apple Black character. Neon. Cloak and training. Subtype student and hero. 2 purge cost, 2 progress value. And she has the enduring effect that every time you play an Apple Black character, an Apple Black student, you add 2 progress markers to the current chapter, which Ricky takes exception to this. Neon's name is listed as Neona in the flavor text. It is, as a member of the elite Mercury family, Neona was often in the shadow of her big sister Florine. Yes, Neon looks better as a diverse protagonist than Lily Dardanelles. Neon's ability appears to be swapped with Lily's, so that Neon could have an ability practical for a protagonist. Yeah, as mentioned on when we talked about Lily's card, right? Lily is that every time an Apple Black student is purged, you add 2 progress markers. So it feels, right. The goody should probably be the one who benefits from gaining allies, and the goth should benefit from the graveyard.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just a vibe check fail, and of course no period.
Yeah.
And oh boy, we've talked about this next one too. Oh wait, no, art. Fuck.
Yeah, Perry. It is mostly the same. They changed the background very, very slightly. So there's not much to say, but just just for nitpicking's sake.
This is the nitpicking hour, after all.
Oh, it sure is.
Nitpicking kind of sounds like a character that would be like one of these crazy last names in Apple Black. Like it's
oh my gosh,
it's nitpicking, fatty munga.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes, our Apple Black OC Geronimo Nitpicky.
Geronimo Nitpicky.
Perfect.
Or no. Geronimo Nitpicky.
Yeah, so we have the original chapter art. See, they added buildings, or maybe they flipped it. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, it's like they have the electrical cord coming out of different building, and then it's removed from the building in the back. So it's a very interesting spot, the difference.
Yeah.
Neat.
Meat. And next up, we have number 30.
Oh, boy.
It's our old friend from Apple Black, this villainous rebel, Prince Ashokan Caezar.
Oh, boy.
The game breaker himself.
The game breaker.
Action. Issue a challenge. Yep. 4 purge cost, 4 progress value. Action. Issue a challenge. If the defender is Sano, retrieve 2 cards, limited to twice per chapter. Does the effect trigger if the defender is Sano? This is Ricky's complaints. Does the effect trigger if the defender is Sano, Bengote, Tamashii? Can the player only issue the challenge if the defender is Sano? Is the limited to twice per chapter refer to the whole action or to the retrieve 2 effect? That one is the biggest issue, I think.
Yeah, limited to twice per chapter. I would assume issue a challenge, meaning that you can issue a challenge to anyone, and you don't have to try to play a separate card to issue your challenge. And then if Sano is you're attacking
do you only
Sano,
retrieve 2 cards if you're attacking a card just called Sano, or do you also retrieve 2 if you're attacking Sano, Bengote, Tamashii?
I'm not sure.
My Japanese pronunciation is not amazing on the stress, but that is the word for soul. Spirit, something like that.
Yeah, Sano is an anagram for a sun. This is canonical. This is real. This is actual deep lore from Apple Black.
Where does Bengote come from?
I don't know. I gotta snoop around a little more and find that deep lore. But Sano is a son, and he was born on December 25th.
Fuck off.
He's Jesus Kun.
Yeah, he's the Trinity. He is the
Trinity. He is Jesus Kun.
I was gonna make a joke earlier. Oh, so he's the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
He literally is.
I see.
Yeah, because he has the arm of Barouge, which. It is some like Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and like I'll keep this I'll keep this Apple Black rant to a minimum. But the whole story is the adventures of Jesus Kun and how he's the most perfect and most specialist little boy in the world, and his main conflict is nobody's listening to him. And if only people would listen to Jesus Kun, they would just understand. And
And on the punctuation issue, that comma should be a period.
Yeah, I agree.
The comma makes it seem like these are connected, but they're not really connected effects. The challenge is not dependent on Sano, presumably.
Yeah, I assume so. I assume that this is the insta-win card that will break the game.
Yeah, I mean it's less that it's not even this guy specifically. It's just that he can issue a challenge.
Yeah. Because the issuing challenges, that's one of those things where I don't know if it's a screw up in the game design or if it's deliberately like you're not supposed to issue as many challenges as I'm thinking that this game should do.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's rough because like I feel like you should be able to have more challenges than you're able to because I mentioned earlier how I was playing the Clock Striker deck against the Apple Black starter deck, and that I believe there's 6 cards in there that let you issue a challenge. So while I'm playing the Clock Striker deck, I'm just trying to mentally keep track of how many challenge cards I have in my purge pile and how many are coming up, and there is a card where it's like, oh, search your deck for this. So then since it doesn't tell you to reshuffle, you could search it and you know, okay, I have this many coming up and this and to try to account for that. So it does kind of become like when you play with the Clock Striker deck, it does kind of become the card counting game where you're just trying to mentally keep track of like when I can issue a challenge.
Some more quick nitpicking. The lore section of the true ruler of this stolen land as a representative of the sun god. It only makes sense that I extinguished the infinite night. Put an exclamation mark at the end or a period.
Yeah.
Just
I agree.
Put punctuation and also attribute it. Even if it's the guy who's on the card who said it, attribute your quote.
Yeah.
Right?
That's like, that's a good point. Yeah.
And now we can talk about the art.
Yeah. The art's fine.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah.
Pretty stylish, nice coloring.
Using the manga panels as a background is kind of weird to me, but it works.
Yeah, I'll take that over.
I'll take that over AI.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's better. It could be worse.
Yes. Yeah.
Be on an unrelated background. This is better.
Yeah. I think
some of the other
to make it better,
seen.
like if they like lowered the opacity on the background, so it's like more of like a faded effect.
Yeah,
I think that would look like make him pop out a little more.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this is just a page from the manga.
Yeah,
or I feel like more of a collage would work better, but
maybe he just hasn't shown up enough in the manga for
maybe
for them to justify the card.
Maybe, yeah. And our next card is
starter deck preview. Ruby Ryuzaki, is that the right one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you, everyone. So we're talking about starter deck preview. The name is Reader Ryuzaki, and the set is 1. And the faction is Apple Black. It was first found in the starter deck preview. Then the character card type is character. The subtypes are student and hero. The action type is enduring. And if you have no cards in hand, Ryuzaki is red +3. That's what the text on the card is. And then what is wrong? No cards in hand, quote unquote. This card is in the print to play set 1. In that set, I have not found a way to use 4 actions to bring a 5-card hand down to 0. Period at the end, no. Comma use optimal, yes. And is the character referred in the effect cataloged? Yes, but incorrectly as Ryuzuki. I mean, I can relate though, because the personal story here, I had a little animated pilot I tried to make, which was all about a little dragon character, and it was called Noko Ribi because Noko Ribi is ember in Japanese, but I kept calling it Noko Robi in like interviews because I like got interviewed by like a friend about the pilot. So I went, I'm so excited to make Noko Robi, and it's not it. It's Noko Ribi. So I'm saying I relate. That's valid. I mean, we all have our growing and learning moments. That was like 2022 when I did that. I was first being an ambitious creator person. Yeah. So I relate to getting Japanese words wrong occasionally. I just fumbled over my words a little bit now reading this. But I mean, that definitely should be fixed in a professional release.
Wait, I didn't notice this until now, but why is Whytmanga 2 words on the signature area?
That's I think he spells it with 2 words, not 1. Yeah.
I don't like that.
See, what I don't like is all of Apple Black is sold in Canada.
Just cut it off right there. That'd be really funny. You know what I don't like? Apple Black.
Yeah, somebody's gonna clip that. Oh gosh.
Continue.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I've gone on this rant before. It's like, do I call you Odunze or do I call you White? Like, which do you prefer? I'm getting a lot of conflicting information here, and now card game. Odunze White Oguguo. And you got to put a lot of stank on the white because he spells it white.
White.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. And we saw the artist do her drawing for this one.
Yeah.
It's great job on that background. One layer
did the
knocked it out of the park.
One layer, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. One layer on that background. I cannot. I almost said I can't believe it, but you know what? She showed her work, so I can believe it. That this wonderful background was just one. Is he standing in front of an egg? What is going on? Like.
This is a metaphor that the characters themselves are eggs.
Ooh.
It's a metaphor.
No, Ruby Ryuzaki does have he's very trans-coded because he I want some perspective on this. But while I was reading, I was like, okay, he is giving me very big time trans vibes because he is an orphan and he doesn't know his family, and so he met the great dragon Ryuzaki, and he was so inspired by the dragon that he was like, I will no longer be Ruby, I will be Ryuzaki, and so he just stops going by the name Ruby, and he starts going by Ryuzaki. And it does feel very transcoded because, this is a male character and his old name was Ruby, which
Ruby
is
a very
not
feminine name.
Yeah, very feminine name. And, and he's inspired by this big dragon. And he's like, that's me. That's going to be, I'm all about this. I'm so about this. I'm going to change my name to this giant dragon. I don't know. Like, it just felt like a very trans story.
Yeah.
I don't
just hatched out of that egg.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that was a really cool insight, Tapir. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm always happy to share Apple Black lore. I don't think it was intentional because at a later point in the story, Ruby, like this is like kind of the bummer and like about it is that later he's like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm gonna be true to myself and I'm gonna start going by Ruby now. Like I'm done with so it's like it almost was like a really cool trans story, especially since the character is introduced as Ryuzaki, his preferred name.
I'm sorry. It's time to go back to being my true self. I'm going to please in the future call me Ruby after my favorite fictional character, Ruby from Rooster Teeth. So Ruby.
There we go.
From Ruby.
There we go.
You got to say it was the W pronounced. Ruby.
From Robubi. Hey, next card.
Yeah.
You
want to read this one?
We were on Ryuzaki Threenile. Oh God, no. Oh no.
Play Spot an Apple Black student? What does that fucking mean?
Ryuzaki Threenile. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my bad. While I was explaining Apple Black lore. Ryuzaki's not an orphan. He's a Threenile. What's a Threenile, you might ask? Well, Threenile is an orphan. But they call it a Threenile. See, like, it's the flavor text. A Threenile, an orphan, born in Black Bottom Island with no ties or knowledge of his tribe or family. They can't just call him an orphan. They gotta use a silly name to make their fantasy world more intriguing.
Yeah, a Threenile, an orphan, born in Black Bottom Island with no ties or knowledge of his tribe or family, as the lore states.
So it is a student hero. The action type is enduring. The text says, when Ryuzaki is defending in a challenge, all abilities that affect red are canceled and cannot be modified. What is wrong? All abilities that affect red are canceled and cannot be modified. Can you modify abilities that are canceled? Does the ability affect Ryuzaki's red? Does this ability affect the challenging character's red? Does this ability affect all cards in play that affect red? What does it mean to cancel an ability? If a plot twist red ability is canceled, do all effects of the card get canceled? If number 27, Madame Naomi Barouge uses the ability, does the card get canceled? Yeah. My big hang up is his card name is Ryuzaki Threenile. And then the other one is Ruby Ryuzaki. And then Simon has an effect where when Ryuzaki is purged, he gets to boost. Well, what
about Ryuzaki Threenile?
Yeah, what about Ryuzaki Threenile? And they both have the little dot by their name, meaning you can only play 3 of this card.
No, you can only play 1. You can only have 1 on the field.
Yeah, 1 on the field and then 3 in the deck. So can I play Ryuzaki Threenile and have Ruby Ryuzaki as my ally?
Yes.
I mean,
considering the next card seems to imply that you can do that with Sano, I think it.
Oh no, I was looking at an older version of the spreadsheet. Was there anything for Magic the Gathering?
Oh, not on this one, no.
Okay.
We did kind of ignore it on the previous 2 because I forgot.
Whoopsie.
I guess, and this is just the Ashokan Caezar thing again. It's But okay, what does to play Spot an Apple Black student mean?
Wait, which card are you looking at?
On Ryuzaki Threenile. Look at the card.
To play Spot an Wait, yeah, what is that? To play Spot an Apple Black student. Wait, yeah, what the fuck? I never noticed that. What the yeah, this has come up with other cards when they say spot this. It's like, because they don't define spotting in the quick start guide. It's like, does it mean something in your hand? Does it mean on the field? Do your opponent's cards count? Like, yeah, that's another point of confusion.
Yay, confusion. Oh, right. And Ryuzaki Threenile and Ryuzaki Normal do have periods.
Ooh. Ooh, they did it.
Actually, oh no, they only have periods on the lore.
Oh no. Well, Let's see. See that. I see the list jumps ahead from 37 to 42. Did you want to call it here?
Well,
so we don't make it.
Yeah, let's call it here.
Man, that flew by. Yeah, if we all want to say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Bye, Pete.
Yeah, thank you both so much.